So in Acts of the Apostles chapter 14, reading from verse 19 through to 28, we see one very interesting thing happening to Paul and Barnabas, particularly on their arrival to Antioch from Derbe. Paul was dragged to the city, and the Jews mobilized the crowd against these apostles and gave them the beating of their life. All were beaten to pulp, but we are told that gathered by the disciples, that is the believers in that community who thought he was already dead, Paul was able to get onto his feet and off he went. He didn't just stop, he continued to Lystra, to Iconium, and other sub-regions around there. The interesting thing about this is the perseverance of Paul in faith and that of Barnabas as well. That they didn't allow any of this to become a distraction to them, but kept on pushing on and witnessing to the gospel. Brothers and sisters, beyond your baptism card or my baptism card, which is just a temporal certificate of affirmation of our incorporation into Christ, what next have you done? At the birth of the new evangelization, the Holy Father Pope Francis reminded us three principal things. Number one, that there are places in this world that the word of God and the seed of the gospel have not been sown. Number two, that there are people already who have heard this word of God and have become very, very lukewarm. Maybe you and I will belong to that category. And finally, there are those who continually, having become lukewarm, need to be fanned aflamed in order to shrink this lukewarmness off them and sow the seed of faith in their life. This becomes therefore a tax for all of us, and he charged us that the new evangelization must be preached and carried out with new enthusiasm, new vigor, and by us creating new vistas, that is new opportunities to sow the seed of faith and fan aflame seeds already sown in faith that are becoming lukewarm, so that all of us will continue to be active. The interesting thing about the experience of Paul and Barnabas, particularly Paul, not neglecting Barnabas, is the perseverance in faith, their activity. All of these that were happening to them were more of like a distraction, but they kept their gaze on Christ. Beyond the cassock, beyond the veil as a religious, beyond your baptismal card as a Christian, what are you doing to contribute to the gospel and the spread of the faith, or witnessing to the values of the gospel in your local community? There is a lot to be done, but we cannot just become nominal Christian, Sunday Christian, but the seed of love and the seed of faith need to be continually sown, and where it is sown, our way of life needs to be a better template for people to simply emulate. This is not going to be an easy one. Paul encouraged the people to persevere even in hardship, because there is a goal to be reached. If we don't give up, we will surely win the prize.